2021. Let the record reflect this meeting is posted in accordance with Texas Government Code 551, better known as Texas Open Meetings Act, that a quorum of commissioners is present and established. All of us being here this morning. And at this time, we're going to start the tape recorder, and I get to do this again, don't I?
But you did so well the first time.
No, I can practice. It's not hard. You're right. Okay, so we've established that we posted in accordance with the government code, that we have a quorum of commissioners, and it is 27th day of July, 8:30 a.m. We're in the county courtroom in the county courthouse. This meeting is also being simulcast on YouTube. We don't have anybody that's signed up this morning for the last 4 days to give testimony that way. So first order of business today is to vote of blessing of the Almighty. Mr. Traywood, could you lead us in the word of prayer, please?
Dear Heavenly Father, I ask that you bless the leaders of this meeting and the members of this meeting, and that we will do your bidding for the people of Hill County. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. We've all been to pledge American Texas flags.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, thank you all for being here this morning. Our first order of business is, what's going on, Commissioner Montgomery? What's happening precinct?
Lots of work working on FEMA projects. Got one crew working on, well, I say crew, I've only got 4 people, but I mean, I got 2 guys working on
That's true.
FEMA, some FEMA projects, and I got the other 2 trying to patch some potholes on paved roads. So, and I've been cutting back trees and installing culverts, and just motivating along.
There you go.
Been hurt for a little bit of rain, but don't need much.
You don't want a lot. Commissioner Crump, what's going on precinct 2?
We've just finished another 1.5 miles of chip seal roads last Thursday. I'm fixing to move to another project, do some patchwork up by chat, and then fix to start on 21, 24,
Okay.
probably end of the week next week. And in between that, trying to patch washouts that we had from the rains a couple of weeks ago, and trying to get those repaired. We can't. Not enough people go around, but we eventually get there.
Yes,
He said, when are you coming? I said, I can't give you a date, but we will be there.
Okay. Good deal. Thanks. What's going on precinct 3?
Same thing, not enough people for sure. Silage is over, so we've been trying to fix roads get them back where they were. Corn harvest is fixing to start, so I got those calling, brush cut, and this, that, other getting going. But do have a positive note.
Yes.
I have 4 walls and a roof in Penelope.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Golly.
There's no you.
Quiet. We're getting there. So, proud of that.
Oh, all right. That's great. That's great. What's out of curiosity? What's the next step for you? You're gonna go start with installation doors and all that stuff.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we've just got the shell right now.
Hey, you got some.
He told me
I'll trade you.
they started last Wednesday on this building. He told me they would have it erected in the shell in 14 days, and it looked like they're going to do it.
Okay.
So it's coming along, the shell is anyway.
That's nice. That's that place. Mr. Blake, what's happening in precinct 4 today?
We're putting in culverts and still spraying the road ditches.
Good deal. Good deal. Tom, what you got for us? Emergency management for them?
A lot of little projects, Judge, working on communications projects, working on different construction projects, working on the PPE, there's just a lot of little things that I'd like to get something finished this week. Most of these are long-term projects, it's gonna take longer than that.
I got you. I understand. Thank you. Phil, what's going on that team?
We did finally get the internet connection installed over at the sheriff's office last week, so we can get them on their own internet connection. And that's the last shoe that had to drop, so we could migrate to all the new equipment that we purchased.
Okay.
We have a walkthrough today, 2 o'clock, to see about possibly installing a Wi-Fi network over in jail, because Warden Campbell wants to install an RFID reader for doing the checks on inmates. And Still waiting on the quote back, Miss Susan, from on the Nimble. Still trying to get some numbers back
Okay,
to finalize, so we can get it back to the insurance company.
good deal. Yeah, I tried to roll balls on that one, so. John, you got anything in councils?
Anything, Christian one is pretty much business as usual. Had another eviction move out yesterday in Blunt. But other than that, everything's normal. Good deal.
Thank you. Judge, Tom, with that review?
In my court, we got some show causes scheduled later today. We have a whole bunch of dockets. The rest of the
It's in the docket you said, so.
yeah, we got a whole bunch of dockets the rest of the week, next week, the week after. So we're going as quick as we can.
Good deal, I appreciate you. Ms. Mickey, anything you want to share with us?
Not from the county attorney's office, but we have the design first window on August 14th.
Perfect time to share that. Tell us about it.
Yes, so for those of you who've never heard of the First Bingo, it's a fundraiser that Nicole Crane started about 5 years ago to donate money to the Advocacy Center in Waco that basically sends people to Hill County for us to do our forensic interviews on children who are victims of crime, and also provides free counseling to victims and their families, free of charge, and unlimited sessions now. And so it's been a real big blessing for us. And about 2 or 3 years ago, we agreed to split the proceeds with CASA at Hill County. And so this year, all proceeds will go to both. So it's really great. We're down to the last 7 tables. So if you have any interest in going, get your group together. We would love to see y'all there. It's a fun time.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Anybody else got anything they want to share with us? Susan, Justin?
Friday night is a night for Hill County baseball.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I brought that down. The Railroaders in Cleveland, Texas, they are holding Hill County night this Friday night. I'm glad you mentioned that. I completely forgot. So we've heard about that. From this chair, budget. Just, this is that week that it all drags in, trying to get down the last things out. Still waiting for the comptroller to get their forms out so we can calculate the tax rate. That's the holdup. The new deadline that the state put in is August 15th. Have the budget ready. We're still trying to shoot to do it by the 30th of July if we have to paperwork in. So that takes a good bit of our time at this point. I don't have revenue projections yet. The expenditures look a lot like last year. And then tomorrow, which is Wednesday, I have a meeting with the folks from the healthcare. We opened bids last Thursday. It's brutally bad. So we've got the ability to negotiate after we open bids. We're going to, it's better than the renewal that we proposed originally by about 10%, but it's still pretty high. So between trying to take care of the insurance and not losing benefits and keeping up with the rising cost of inflation with employees, it's going to be about all we can do this year just to get those two things accomplished at this point, if we can accomplish both of them. So like I said, I don't mean to be doom and gloom. It's not that kind of party yet, but we don't have the end numbers simply because we don't have a proper worksheet yet from the comptroller, but we can guess. That being said, construction is moving along nicely in the building. This last week they finished the insulation downstairs and chiller pipes. Finally, it doesn't smell like a new locker room down there anymore. So it's getting better. They are putting that drop down ceiling that goes around those pipes back in this week, sheetrock there. On the 3rd floor, they have finished with the carpet and they are in the process of getting the electrician back out to work on the DA's office to put a couple another circuit in there, extra plugs in this process, and then putting those chairs back in the courtroom. On the balcony. On the 2nd floor, they're doing the sanding on the courtroom floors and the law library floors. They should be finished with that this week. And now it comes into you're going to start the fun part where it smells bad here for a couple of days. Sorry about that, but we'll work through it like we do everything else. Their next move is downstairs. They've been relaying the underlayment. These floors are multiple layers. You've got this hardwood on top and maybe 1, 2, or maybe 3 layers of plywood with an air gap in it. So they relayed the underlayment in both the Old County Court of Law office and the JP office to continue to move forward. Big note for us is that we're holding our first jury trial this week in over a year and 2 months, 3 months. They picked the Bordighera panel yesterday at the fairgrounds. I promise you, every last person that showed up, thank you, gentlemen, for spending the money to air condition that. So because it was scorched yesterday, that worked out well, and they will hold that at 10 o'clock this morning and here start with that jury trial. Had the 4-H banquet last Friday night. I'm sorry if nobody could join us. You guys missed out. We had wonderful participation from a great number of kids in this county. It's a really good youth organization to reach out to these young folks and get them involved with the right things in life so they don't get off on the wrong track. Other than that, we're still moving forward with the projects at Covington Street and out at the fairgrounds regarding the geotechnical surveys being done. So we're waiting to hear back from the folks at MRB Group about those things. I need to talk to somebody. They haven't emptied the dumpster out at the fairgrounds in over a month, and I keep slipping my mind every time I think about that. I need to call the folks. I said in the public, somebody remind me. But I need to call them because there's pallets in that dumpster that we stuck in there a month ago, and they have not come and dumped the dumpster. So just a lot of little things going on, ongoing with the purchase of the warehouse with the federal funds. That particular building is going into environmental review. To do that, we had to have a survey. Martin was good enough to get his surveyor out here. Thank you for that, Martin. We appreciate it. And they're taking those pins. They're also over to jail. Part of our process of all this juggling is going to be moving the straight pins from out the fairgrounds over to the jail. And to do that, we're going to have to do a little brush clear down the bottom corner. I'm going to be looking for about $6,000 or so to have somebody, I think it's about what it's going to cost roughly, to come in there with one of those mulchers in front of the skid steer and mulch all of that so there's no burning, there's no nothing else. Again, that's something I'll get some bids and go back to you gentlemen before we take action, because I also have to figure out where I'm going to pay for it from. So,
How big an area is?
how big do you think that area is that need to mulch? An acre?
Maybe an acre.
Maybe?
See if I can get it done.
Okay, we appreciate you. So other than that, lots of little things going on, but that's probably all you want to hear from me at the moment. So other thing though, I do have to stand on my box for just a second. Folks, we're not out of COVID. We've done the false sense of security. The COVID epidemic is over. We got to about 32% population in the state of Texas, people fully vaccinated. Then we got, if you look at that though, as the population of those 65 and over, it's 61% vaccination rate. What we're seeing now is this new variant of COVID-19 called Delta. It is killing young, healthy people. God rest his soul, that did take and cost the life of Meridian Mayor. Yesterday, I got news that he passed. He'd been in the hospital fighting for a number of months. This is not some political football. This is a public health crisis. And when it comes down to the vaccine, I've had arguments with friends of mine, but I will tell you, I would vaccinate my dog, I'd vaccinate my cows. Why would I not vaccinate myself and my children against this? I don't want to see anybody I know, much less anybody I love, wind up in the hospital with this and linger on a ventilator for months upon months. I don't want to see anybody I know die from this. I encourage you, Christian love, do yourself a favor. If you have not taken the vaccine yet, please go look into it. Please go talk to somebody about it. If you have reservations, that's fine. It's okay to be skeptical. But please talk to somebody that knows what they're talking about and don't believe the stuff you see online. That's how you save lives. So anyway, I'll step off my soapbox now. And at this time, I'll open it to open forum. Is there anybody here that's got something to say to commissioners that'd like to talk to us? It's not on our agenda today. If so, this is your opportunity. If you could limit your comments to roughly 3 minutes in duration, and if we respect you, please show respect to the commissioners for it. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee while I'm waiting for the forum. Well, I'm not hearing anybody.
If nobody is gonna
Richard, come
say
on.
anything,
Yeah.
I just want to say, live in the 4th precinct,
Yes, sir.
and the roads there are outstanding, and they're being treated like they should be.
How much did Martin pay you? I got
I gave him 20.
I'm cheap, I work cheap.
You moved,
Anyway, I just want to say that, so.
you moved my precinct, I got 40.
Thank you, I appreciate that. That's not often.
And I need to see you after the meeting.
Yes,
For
I'll hang
2
tight.
minutes.
No problem, I got you.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else for open forum? If not, we're gonna move along to the consent agenda. This morning's consent agenda is action on minutes of July 13th and July 20, invoices of July 17th, payroll of July 16th, and action on month report revenue disbursements. You received emails from the treasurer's office containing those documents. I know I did. I have them printed out as well.
I make a motion, we pay the bill.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Any additional additions or corrections to the consent agenda? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. I'm gonna start passing around the orders now. That way, poor Ms. Tara doesn't have to chase them down later and find them and sign them. And that should be good with that. Okay. Payroll. Monthly report on revenue and disbursements. So moving along to court orders then, discuss number one, discuss and approve employee wage status changes. Our employee wage and status changes for this date is, Victory Harrison, has come in as a jailer sergeant. We welcome her aboard. I'm glad to hear that, we're able to find some folks there. Ryan Morrow is, transport deputy, transferred to build operations, filling that slot. Brandon Reed, is successful completion of his dispatch training, so that's wonderful. We have Mark Manise with has done some increase in their education, moving from jailer 1 to jailer 2. We have Shelby Talton, that's a successful completion of dispatcher training, so welcome aboard. And then Justin Olson, who is a new hire at the jail, and Mark Minus is voluntary resignation. So those are the status and wage changes for this day.
Make a motion to approve.
Second motion and a second to approve status employee wage changes. Employee wage or status changes, forgive me, as presented. Is there any further discussion on the subject? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry.
Had to wait to it.
Gentlemen, I'm going to skip 2 and 3 today. We don't have a list of declaring salvage surplus property, and there's no need to sell it either. I will come back to you later date. I've left those on because we continue to clean out these old buildings and get rid of stuff. But I appreciate you allowing me to skip that. Number 4 is discuss bonds, discuss interaction of bonds. We have before us Ms. Pam Wardlow, the 66th Judicial District, Ms. Carrie Price with the 66th Judicial District, Mr. Robert Wilkinson with the Hill County Juvenile Probation Office. And those are the bonds.
Make a motion to approve bonds.
Second. Motion is second to approve the bonds as presented. Is there any further discussion or questions? Yeah, you have a question? That's not the end of that. Okay. All right, well, I'll call the question in. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry. Number 5, discussion or action on basic IDIQ remodel at Hill County Court at Law Courtroom. I didn't put this in your packet, forgive me. They came in with a bid of $59,000. They go in there and redo the building, turn it to a courtroom. That would be putting in the benches, the seats, the floors, the walls, all that stuff. It does not include the sound equipment or the audio visual stuff. If we're working with Judge Crane, ask him to give us a list of what he'd like in that. But it, they're only 5 board, so it's already pre-bid, and they're already in the courthouse here, so they can start on it almost immediately. So the question is, what do you guys want to do? Do you want me to go out and look at more bids? Are you comfortable that, I think this came in exactly where the architect said it was going to come in. How do you want to proceed?
I'm looking for students.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to accept bid from Basic IDIQ to remodel the Hill County Court of Law Courtroom. Is there further discussion on the subject? Oh, you guys can make calls on there.
Yeah.
All right, if there's no discussion, gentlemen, appreciate this is the fastest way to get this going. It will work well, and I appreciate you using these guys, not because I'm in love with anybody, but I can't have such a construction fee on the courthouse to do business here. I just didn't know parking left. So I thank you. I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry. Thank you very much. Oh, speaking of construction projects, I forgot to mention to you, the washateria is coming down nicely. We've paid for a couple of roll-off dumpsters. They're taking a lot of material out, but the holdup right now is we're waiting for the electric company to finally come and take the service outside the building. Encore's been contacted. Encore said, hey, we'll push. It's not ours, it's somebody else's. They're working with them. Hopefully for the end of this week, that's all there. We can move forward again. Number 6, discussion and or action purchase of real property. Commissioner Lake, tell us what you got this morning.
We've got 3 lots over behind the jail, and all cleaned up and mowed real nice. That will give us expansion room for $2,500 a lot, which is fairly cheap. And they're 50 foot wide and I think 140 foot deep.
What we're thinking about is future expansion. The jail is built modular, so you can add on to it going back to the east. As property comes up around it, just planning many years in the future. I'm not saying we're adding on the jail, so that's not the game plan. It's just being in a position where something is strictly for sale, that we don't have to exercise the eminent domain, 'cause I don't like doing that, and we'll, pick it up at a price that's reasonable today, instead of having to pay good nurse for 20 or 30 years down the road. So it's discussion about our ongoing needs as a county, our population increases, and I thought enough of this that Martin did the legwork to bring it to you guys and see what your thoughts on it
Is
were.
that the property where the big parking lot is or back behind,
Behind,
That's back behind, it's off of Line Street, it's just south of Line Street.
back where they've got all
We
the
own a
old,
whole bunch back in there, and that's where cattle pens are gonna be. This is behind,
I don't know,
Flores' house.
the Flores house.
okay.
His sister passed away, and her and her husband own the next 3 lots, and they did not have any plans to do anything, and so $2,500 a lot.
Is that where the sheriff department has all that
Even
pickups and everything
No,
parked
this is
back in?
back behind that.
Back,
Back behind that deal, we probably own another
The majority,
150, 175 foot back there, we own way back in there. It's in real.
yeah, the majority of the land is actually behind, well, what you would call, if you're coming down Armory Street, you see the front of the Armory Jail, it's actually behind the jail, is the majority of the land down there.
So,
So,
sounds reasonable enough.
it's what I thought, Martin brought it to me, it kind of seems like a no-brainer not to pass this opportunity up now, and that way it's there for future expansion. I don't see motion, okay?
Second.
Motion and second, purchase, well, I tell you what I'd like to do is get the authority to negotiate, we have to sign a contract and all that kind of stuff. So I'd like to get a motion and second to authorize the county judge to enter into a contract to purchase real estate with the property owner. And it's unapproved, there's no houses on it. All right, that's your motion, that's my motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion and second, is there further discussion on this? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry. Number 7, discuss and approve auditor's assistance with preparation of chapter 59, reports from the district attorney, sheriff, constables, county attorney. I so move because I don't want to do it myself. So basically, this motion is every year, the auditor is kind enough to prepare these chapter 59 reports for us. And this is just giving her the authority to do so. So I move to allow her to do so.
Second.
There we go. Motion second. Any commentary? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, the noes know it. Number 8, observe and record Hill County Community Supervision and Corrections Department fiscal year 2020-23 budgets. Yes, they are ahead of me. That's crazy, but anyway. Bear with me. I'll get you to sign that back around. If you hadn't had a chance to look at it, it's in here. Basically, we're just observing and recording it, putting it in the public record of Hill County, aka the clerk's record, so everybody can see it.
Make a motion to observe and record.
second.
Motion to second to observe and report the 22-23 budget for the Hill County Community Supervision and Corrections Department. Any further commentary? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion shall carry. Number 9, discuss and approve an interlocal agreement between Regional Public Defender, Local Government Corporation, and Hill County, Texas. This is what we call our capital murder insurance. It's not really insurance. This is the interlocal agreement we enter into the 3rd Judicial District every year.
It's the love of people.
It's the love, folks, yes, sir. And as you well know, that capital murder trial can be a budget buster for a small county like ours. You're talking average about $2 million from start to finish. And there's a possibility of having one this year, just letting you know that. We've got somebody that fits those marks and those decisions are being made right now. So that being said, I think it in our best interest to continue this program because I'm trying to find the actual price this year, forgive me. It was on the first 2 pages, it's $23,000 last year, $23,000. That is cheap insurance if we have to do this. And, here we go. All right, you see me flailing over here because I went off and grabbed my glasses at my computer this morning at the house. Hill County is a total of $14,704 this year.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All right.
That's not better than 10 million.
Yeah.
Population of 35,000 people.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's money well spent, I believe, or I would really be. All right, well, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. This the 27th day of July. If you'd be so kind as to sign it, pretty please, and that's send that back when we get to sign. Number 10, discuss and approve amendment to government lease purchase between American National Leasing Company and Hill County. This is an oddity. We have a leasing company that wants to voluntarily lower our interest rate. Does that sound right to you, Mr. Paul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Our current interest rate is 4.15, and they're gonna lower it to 2.75. Did y'all threaten to arrest them or something? I mean, how'd you get this? Okay. Couldn't hear an attorney coughing. I don't know what's going on. All right, I have no problem saving money for the taxpayer.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second to approve an amendment reducing the financing amount of American National Leasing Company financing rate from 2.75 per annum to, I'm sorry, from 4.15 per annum to 2.75 per annum. Any further commentary? Discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Number 11, discussion and action designate an officer to incorporate data into an electronic property tax database pursuant to Texas Tax Code 2617. We have some new rules under SB 17, or SB 2, and some of those rules applied last year, and all of it applies this year. And so this designee is something that we have to do, and I say we, I'm just kind of smiling at Susan because she looks like we might get to do that. Because it makes no sense and it fits with her office. I'm not looking to overload Susan with more work or give her jobs that she doesn't want. It's just a matter of when it comes down to maintaining that, she's probably the correct person to do so.
I think a lot of the other auditors are taking that on in other counties.
Yes, ma'am, that seems to be the case. I thought we were gonna try putting on Mike McKibben, but no, he didn't. Yeah, so, sorry, I couldn't get it for you. So anyway, this is a requirement that we appoint this person under the Senate Bill 2, or now Property Tax Code 2617. Is that your motion? Yeah, that's my motion. I don't want to be stuck in doing that to Susan, I guess I'm. Everybody's trying to be nice at budget time, I get it. All right, so we have a motion by Judge Lewis, second by Commissioner Hawkins to designate our Hale County auditor as the officer to incorporate data in electronic property tax database pursuant to Tax Code 2617. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. Number 12, discuss and approve the Texas Department of Agriculture, Texas Feed, Texas Home Delivered Meal Grant Program for year 2022. Gentlemen, we allocate $10,000 per year in our county budget for Meals on Wheels. That money they use as a match towards a state grant, and that state grant comes from the Texas Department of Agriculture Home Delivered Meal Grant Program. Is people check on a number of the elderly and those that have no other outside touch. This in Hubbard, in Hillsborough, Whitney, Itasca, meals get delivered. I think this is a very important program, and I wouldn't recommend it otherwise, but it's well spent money to take care of those in our community that are a little bit up their day and needing.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion and a second to approve a resolution authorizing the county grant program year 2022 for the Texas Department of Agriculture, Texas Food, Texans Home Delivered Meal Grant Program. Any further commentary? If not, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Yeah.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry unanimously. There's probably more places to sign on there that I didn't look at it. Number 13, observe and report Hill County Emergency District #1 financial statements for the year ended September 30th, 2020. A little bit late getting in, but they got it to us, and there's no material findings in this report. So let's read the opinion. This is Mr. Bill Saunders, the CPA. In my opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the financial position of Hill County Emergency Service District #1 as of September 30, 2020, and the changes in financial position and budgetary comparison to the year ended. So that is their audit.
Have a motion to approve. Second.
Have a motion second to observe and record the Hill County Emergency District #1 financial statements for the year ended September 30, 2020. Anything further? All in favor say aye.
Yeah.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Number 14, these are more of our subdivisions. Approved payment of Hill Creek Ranch LLC for 28,361.28, invoice number 5027C395A, Phase A, and 38.85 invoice 5028C395, Phase B and C. As you recall, we have an escrow agreement with those individuals. As they build part of those out, they can be reimbursed for them. Our county surveyor, Mr. Jesse Jones, has gone over there and given them the blessing, so we have the ability to pay them now.
Make a motion to pay.
Second. Motion and second to pay the invoices as presented. Any further questions? Are they about finished over there?
And they're getting close, I hadn't driven that in, they were putting electric lines in, last time I went in there.
Okay, so they're
on the
getting-
ground.
Wow, good deal, good deal. All right, I'll call a question and all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions, same sign? No opposed?
Isn't that pretty rocky area over here?
Oh, yeah.
And they're putting it underground?
They got a trencher with
They must have a
bells, grain, all that stuff.
heck of a trencher. All right, number 15, discuss and take action on Tyler Sports and Justice jury application. Your timing is impeccable. Give us what you got, man.
So, good morning, I wanted to introduce Sherry Grimington from Tyler. She's a CSAM and has a whole bunch of other tasks. Part of her responsibility is helping us out in juries. So, right now, we have a in code 10 jury application that is going to be over the years, coming years, phased out by Tyler. And the hope is that we can, in the next several months, move to this new jury application, which affords us better interaction with jurors, particularly for the courts and prosecutors and defense attorneys. It's cloud-based. The other huge bonus is that with the code funds, it complies with the requirements of using those funds for software applications that improve our efficiency, that support interaction with our communities as it relates to calling jurors and their interaction with the courts. I think the timing is impeccable. We're at a position now with our courts opening back up. In fact, we're going to have our first criminal jury trial in this room in moments after this meeting concludes. I've spoken to Philip. I got a text yesterday from the county attorney whom I gave the package to last week. And he sent me a picture from the beach and said, Tyler agreements all good, thumbs up. So anyway, I told him that's not fair. In any event, I had a meeting with Philip and spoke to him at length about the provisions, particularly the money as it relates to the agreement. Our right now we pay $65.50 annually for our maintenance with Income Jury. This is a substantial increase. What we're proposing to do is take 3 years of that increased staff or support and maintenance cost, roll it into our agreement so that we might better budget for it when it finally does hit. I mean, it's like any other software application. I feel like, we're biding our time with the application we have now. It's going to go up. Just support and maintenance always seems to do that. I just think it's an appropriate time given the limits of COVID and the interaction with folks with the courts. And as we try to open these courts up, it will really help us communicate and seek folks that are appropriate to serve on our juries, and those that need medical exemptions or other kinds of disqualifications, or it will be easy for us to do that. They won't have to come up here to be excused by a judge. So I'm excited. I think it's a really good thing to do for not only for now, but as our communities grow and we continue to have jury trials, particularly criminal jury trials, so we can empty out our thing. Sherry, I'll turn it over to you if you have any words.
No, I think it's worked all very well, and her statements were correct about some of the features with the new jury product, the accessibility for your community, and really being able to better serve your citizens and allow them to respond online for some of those things that is really beneficial.
And there'll be some other efficiency savings. Forgive me, I made a mistake, Marshall, but they're going to actually prepare the jury cards now, and they're going to ship them out. We don't have to do that anymore.
That's correct.
Payless, okay. And so there's a bit of postage that, it's not going to offset the cost, but there's some savings there as well.
So right now we're paying about $1.80 per summons because they're card stock. They fold. They have a peel and stick feature. With Tyler, the new application, they'll pay for our jury summons 88 cents a piece plus postage, which will come on our meter. So it's a huge cost savings. That portion is built into our budget. I order, jury summons every fiscal year, so that's going to be a pretty significant savings for us. And what will increase in cost is the interaction stuff. email, text messaging, voice messaging, so that folks won't have to call and disturb the court. They can interact with this application through, phone, texting, all those kinds of things. We might not turn those on immediately, but we're gonna work towards getting all of those features deployed. Great thing about this application is that all of those features are available and you can turn them on and off as you need them, depending on the project. So we're excited about that, and my staff is excited. I think it will improve the efficiency of how we do juries. Right now, it takes my entire staff. Yesterday, we were all out seating juries, so it's an all hands on deck, and I think this will really help that process.
How did the jury work out of curiosity? I know it's a bit straight from the subject.
It was great.
Okay.
I mean, aside from Judge Browsel's copier that's horrible.
Oh, no, it didn't.
It did fine. I mean, aside from the
Okay.
copy, the copier hiccups, we did okay. So yeah.
All right. Questions?
Sound like a deal.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Susan.
So we're gonna pay $45,300 up front, but it'll be for a 3-year period. It's a prepay for 3 years. Okay.
So there's a one-time conversion cost in the table. Susan, it's to the back. And then the staffs will roll in. And remember, we're getting some credit. When we converted from Ableton to Odyssey, the mid-level jury application that Tyler offered at the time was purchased by the county, but it was never deployed. And so we have some credits that are associated with our maintenance that we've been paying for that mid-level application. Of course, in between times, in 17 to now, Tyler has purchased this new company, and this software is amazing. So we're kind of hop, skipping, and jumping into the new application. So we'll have a little bit of credits. That portion that you see down at the bottom, where it talks about summons and all of that business, that's actually will come out of my budget. That's the estimate for what, we would normally use our budget, the district court's budget for paying for summons and all those.
Okay. Well, for the next 3 years, basically, we're going to have an additional $15,000. Well, actually, we're going to pay it all at once, but the idea is it amortized over the next 3 years. We pay the $66.50, the current jury fee we pay, and then another $15,000 on top of that. But since we're going to pay that with federal funds, we're really not going to see a budget hit till about year 3.
Right, and that's what Philip and I talked about. It gives the IT department, time to settle a lot of our IT projects associated with the flood and the new construction of stuff, and then get their budget coming back down under control so that they can anticipate this increased cost.
Okay, good. Questions? I'm in favor.
You got a motion?
Second.
Democracy, wow, it's a hell of a thing, ain't it? All right, well, I'll tell you why I'm in favor. This gives us the ability to interact with the taxpayer better than we currently have. I know there's people that you won't believe this, but they don't show up to juries simply because they've got to keep mom that day or the kids or whatever. But those same people, if they had the ability to call and go, hey, can I set a different jury date? They'll do it. They'll willingly do it. And I think that where the software has been deployed in other counties, they've shown that their rates for jury participation have gone up considerably. That's what our goal is. Nobody wants as a judge. I don't want to be sitting up there calling out jurors and putting them in jail. You don't want to do that because you have to understand people are trying to live their life at the same time they have their civic duty. So we give people an easier way to operate, a better way to make things work around their schedules as well as ours. I think we're going to see a better participation rate and pay off in the long run. And we get the money from the feds to pay for it right now, so that's a thing.
Bonus.
Yeah, that helps. So, all right, I have a motion. There was a second. Montgomery, there you go. Anything further to talk about? If not, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion shall carry unanimously.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Stand adjourned. Thank you for attention to these matters. Okay, you can read all these.